Brandon Johnson is failing on all fronts. Chicago is in shambles. Businesses are closing. Retail establishments are leaving the city. People are moving out, and crime is soaring. From businesses closing to prostitution, Chicago is collapsing under the mismanagement of this mayor, and it's time we ask the question, how much more can Chicago take?
There is a cloud hanging over City Hall, and it could be called approval ratings. A new poll on the mayor's popularity by the University of Chicago Mansueto Institute for Urban Innovation shows that citywide, only 26% of residents approve of the way Johnson is handling the job of mayor, while 58% disapprove.
I think he misjudged the voter when he thought that he could coast on the promises that he made, that he could coast on his agenda. He has to deliver, and people are expecting that. And so far, the poll shows people are disappointed.
The poll shows Johnson's popularity is underwater with every age and income group. Even though he's made affordable housing a key focus, he is also struggling with voters of every race. Even his political base views him unfavorably by 4 percentage points.
The folks that ignore numbers do so at their peril. There's a big difference between coming out of nowhere when very few people know you versus making a comeback when everybody knows you and universally dislikes you.
Bowen says what's really telling is Johnson's record with CPS.
He was a teacher, and they had an expectation that he would at least get education right. And 2 CEOs and almost 2 full school boards later, the problems are worse.
In response, the mayor's office released a statement only addressing the issue of crime, saying Mayor Johnson is focused on continuing the progress that has produced historic reductions in homicides, shootings, and robberies throughout the city. Chicagoans care about making our city safer, and the mayor's record on public safety speaks for itself.
Well, at least they got that part right. Mayor Johnson's record on crime speaks for itself. I, like many of you, am a small business owner or entrepreneur, and there's one story in particular about a business that has repeatedly been the victims of crime, had to close its doors because of the mismanagement of this mayor. This story breaks my heart.
An NBC5 News exclusive. We first brought you this story of a small family-owned business battling break-ins in Chicago's Fulton Market neighborhood in February of 2024. But despite community support and even a plea for the burglars to stop, the break-ins continued, ultimately forcing the owners to make the tough decision to close. NBC5's Courtney Sisk with the story you will only see here on NBC5.
In February 2024, the pop-up store was broken into twice in 10 days at its Fulton Market location, despite owner Kevin Wood's message to burglars, letting them know their actions hurt local families.
It impacts a lot of people, and it's hard for us to operate when things are stolen.
A year and a half later, the shop is in a new spot in Bucktown, but the burglars would follow it there too.
Several hundred products, damage, furniture, collectible items, so it's pretty tough.
Surveillance video shows the burglars just after 4:30 a.m. using a sledgehammer to break down double-pane glass and take rackfuls of products for several minutes.
We put in 5 security shutters, 2 metal grates. We spent over $15,000 in security.
The cost of the loss, hard to calculate, but in the tens of thousands of dollars. Wood said it's part of the difficult reality of having curated high-value merchandise as a small business in Chicago.
We call it the Chicago City Tax.
What does that mean?
That means if you have good stuff, it's going to get taken or stolen.
That is just so sad. This business owner did not have the confidence that he could call 911. He didn't have the confidence that he could call the police and have them help his business stay afloat and keep these smash and grabs from happening. He didn't have the confidence that the mayor would be able to get this crime under control so this small business owner could keep his doors open. He refers to this as a Chicago tax. So you've got McDonald's, you've got major corporations fleeing the city under this mayor's tenure, left and right. And one of the main things that they are citing is crime. Yet, at every opportunity, when Mayor Brandon Johnson gets an opportunity to speak, the main thing that he wants to tout is that the numbers are down under his watch. And all you have to do is just open your eyes and look around you, and you can see that is patently false. So businesses are leaving. Budget deficit for the city, over $1 billion. CPS has a budget deficit over $700 million. We're talking about cuts to CTA coming up on public transit that they're going to be closing at 9 p.m. You've got all of this going on, but that's not even the worst of it.
This prostitution is starting back up.
Jaw-dropping video captured by Alderman David Moore from the 17th Ward during a Facebook Live earlier this month. Prostitutes soliciting on the streets for sex. The alderman says the calls poured in from residents.
I'm taking my child to school or to daycare, and they're seeing naked people out there. And so they're frustrated, and even they're seeing condoms right in front of their house.
The woman dropped her pants. In fact, she isn't wearing any, twerking in the median on 75th and South Halsted, wearing only a bra and thong, yelling at passing cars. After realizing she's being filmed,
When somebody walk up to your car, it's a threat. You see what I mean? That's a threat.
she confronts Moore and attacks his vehicle.
If I can get attacked as an alderman, what do you think the regular constituent if they say something?
In another video, a black car pulls up and drops off a group of women who then began soliciting. According to Moore, this has been building for months here in Auburn Gresham. He says roughly 6 individuals began occupying the areas between 72nd and 75th on South Halsted about 6 months ago.
Wait, was that 5 in the morning, dude? It's 5 in the morning. Block this drive-through.
And the reason why we blurred that video is because the woman, she has nothing on but a pair of shoes. Not even 24 hours ago, a resident in the community of Garfield Ridge sent us a similar video. It shows prostitution actively taking place in Archer Heights and the Sleepy Hollow area too. This activity spans across the 22nd and the 23rd wards. Residents say it's been happening for months there, specifically along Cicero Avenue between 47th Street and Archer Avenue across a 5-block stretch. This is all in close proximity to Midway Airport. Maybe you've seen it on your way out of town. Residents claim this is a lucrative operation running openly while city officials in Chicago turn a blind eye and pimps sit nearby to collect the profits.
They're picking up young girls from wherever they're getting them, and they're prostituting them on the streets. And this looks like a traffic highway between 11:30 to 5:30 in the morning. You can't even get in the alley to park your cars. So we're asking for the politicians, when you want our vote, like he said, you're out here and you're pacing the streets. Can you please be out here pacing the streets now? I understand that we don't have a lot of police, but I do understand we could get a couple police officers here to help us.
So you hear that from an alderman saying he can't even take his kids to school because he's seeing prostitutes walking down the street, and then they're attacking his car. You hear a woman on another side of town by Midway Airport having the same complaints. You hear the man with the video saying that this is going on from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning. So my question is very simple. This mayor has failed on the budget for the city. He's failed on the budget for the teachers. He's failed on the budget for CTA. He can't get the support from the Cook County State's Attorney or from the police because he recently came out, and I have this on another video, where he called law enforcement and police and incarceration a sickness. Now you've got prostitution openly happening in residential neighborhoods in the city. You continue to see businesses leave, but the only thing that he can tout is that he's standing up more affordable housing developments for poor people. This is patently ridiculous. This man should resign tomorrow. You are not the right person for this job. And I'm not going to support you just because you and I are both black. That is not the reason that you are supposed to support a politician. I'll take a competent mayor who's going to lead this city rather than taking an abject failure who just has idealistically lofty ideas about how things should be. But before you can get to this nirvana that you're promising everyone, you've got to get this crime under control. But he doesn't believe that. He believes the perpetrators are the victims, not the actual victims of the perpetrators. Let's get this conversation going. I'm going to continue to talk about Brandon Johnson and his failed leadership, and I'm going to continue to go around the country and talk about other Democratic enclaves where we're seeing this exact same pattern of behavior. If you like this video, you can do a couple of things to support the channel. You can hit a hype, you can hit a like, but most of all, you can subscribe and leave a comment. Let's get this conversation going. I'm going to put up an actual link right here so you can look at the playlist of all the Brandon Johnson videos and all of the videos I've done about the city of Chicago going back over a year. We've got to get this man out of office. I appreciate you for hanging out. I'll catch you in the next one.